Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my third Q&A video leading up to the last episode of The Walking Dead Season 5, the season finale, Episode 16, Conquer. Okay, good stuff. So I do have a few more questions, and send me any remainders you guys have for tomorrow for the final part 4 Q&A, or the actual day of, Sunday, of course, with the episode airing tomorrow night. I'm very excited for the finale. I really hope it doesn't let us down. I have faith, though, at this point that it should be really great. I mean, the season's been incredible, and you guys have seen the videos I've been doing this week. You've seen, a lot this week. The best season so far, and as long as this seems to be one that a lot of people are really talking about a lot, which was when we talked about a couple days ago, it would be Thursday at this point, the theory of Morgan's body, the body parts. If you guys missed the video, I'll put the link in the description. Check the channel. It's the theory that Morgan will be basically killed off in the finale. And I've had a few messages like this with people thinking that, hey, Trev, what if like Morgan just comes back in the finale and he gets killed off like right away? And I kind of gave my thoughts on that in that video I did, and basically I really doubt they'd go that route, because I would be so disappointed. The only reason why I could see them doing that is if Lenny James just doesn't want to do The Walking Dead. Like if he's just like, I can't do it. I got too much stuff going on. I just can't swing it. It's just not going to work for me to be like a season regular character. If he just can't do it, like he doesn't want to be like a season regular character, I don't know why that would be. But if that's possible, that's the only way I could see it. I'm really hoping against that, because we've been waiting for him to return for so long. I feel like he owes us that at this point. With all the build up and stuff from the first half of season 5, I feel like he owes us that. So just want to get that out there right away in the video for you guys, because I have been getting a lot of messages about that, and I like to respond to things that I see commonly at the beginning of Q&As. Next one is from Flynn M, as well as a couple other people asked this one too, and the question from them is basically, do you think that Deanna believed Nicholas? So in Try, when he's on video and she's watching him, and he's basically testifying or telling her that Glenn had basically killed them. Not that he didn't only throw him under the bus, but he made it seem like Glenn was. It was like purposeful that they died, like he killed them on purpose. So do I think she believed him? Well, it seemed like she was watching it over and over again. And, she had been told by Gabriel the week prior, episode prior, that she can't trust them. So at this point, I do think she's kind of torn in between in terms of her mind of whether or not to believe. She probably knows Nicholas is full of shit. She probably knows he is from the beginning, because they've had a history together, obviously. Aiden, of course, was her son, and, mother, son, you're going to get some kind of talk there about the people that are around him. If he felt like Nicholas was a wuss or was not very useful, he might tell Deanna. So I'm sure she has some understanding of the type of person that Nicholas is, and I don't think she believes him 100% no, and that's why kind of like she tells him that he doesn't know what she sees. Yeah, I don't think she 100% believed him, but I think that all these other things that are happening make it seem more to her like it's more possible. But I still don't think she 100% believes him. I think it's just that she hears the testimony from Gabriel, and then you have the thing with Rick going crazy on on Peter, even though she told him not to. Basically, him pulling rank and just doing what he wants to do regardless. I tend to think that. Yeah, she might be starting to, but I think that I think it's hard for her to believe at first when she first hears it. But there's these other things that are happening, which makes it seem more possible. So I think she's kind of in between, but she's kind of leaning more towards that she doesn't entirely believe him, and she thinks that he's exaggerating, and that possibly because she probably knows he's a coward from some of the stuff that Aiden probably would have told her about him prior. And of course she had those deaths from before with them, before our group even got there, for the survivors even got there. So I don't think she believes him 100%. I think she's probably at about 40% in terms of believing him. So most likely not, but all these other things are making his case seem more realistic. At least that's what I would say, is that that's the point of view I see for her. Next one is from Colton Ogburn, and he says that this is similar. He says, has Deanna heard Glenn's side of the story as to what happened on the run, and if not, will she? And then he says, I love what you do. Well, thank you, Colton. I appreciate it. I'm glad people enjoy, what we do here. It is fun. So, because we love the show and in the comic book series, just love the series all around. Love to talk about it. So it's fun that I have you guys here that we can hang out, talk about it. I can answer questions, and we can do reviews and predictions and everything we do for the great series, The Walking Dead. So as far as we know, she hasn't. No, you had Rick. He was talking to Glenn, but we didn't see. Now she was reviewing tape, so she may have, but they didn't show it to us. But from what we can tell, she hasn't met with Glenn to hear his side of it yet, unless it was something that they just didn't show us. So we may see that in the finale, or maybe that was a scene they just skipped over, and but you think we would have seen something of it, but we didn't. So I'm guessing she probably hasn't heard his side of the story, and maybe she's not that interested in hearing it right now because of everything else that's going on and what Gabriel told her. So next one's from Trev Peters. And let's see. But one thing to add to Colton's, one thing is Aiden was her son, right? So maybe we can assume that she would have investigated that. She would have at least heard, but maybe it's too painful. So maybe it happened off camera and we just don't know. Trev Peters' question is, hey Trev, Q&A. Question. So I think I remember you talking about the possibility of Morgan getting his own episode. I was really looking forward to it, and it seemed very possible. At this point, it doesn't seem very likely because he will probably show up in the finale, and they wouldn't do it as a premiere. Hopefully, we will see some flashbacks. What are your thoughts? Yeah, man, I'm really hoping so. I really hope the whole Morgan thing doesn't turn out to be a disappointment this season. I think if you show him in the premiere and you show him in, the mid-season finale and that, like halfway through, you kind of have to show him arrive with the group during that same season. I don't think you should do it like that and then not have it happen that season. So I feel like they're obligated to give that to us at this point in the finale, and I'll be pretty shocked if they don't, if it was like a season 6 that he started. That said, if he's going to be like a mainstay character, I can see him coming in like at the end of the finale or something like that and having the season end on them meeting again or something, because I do think that makes sense and I do think that would be good. But I think as a viewer, even if he doesn't meet Rick and the others, they owe it to us. We have to see him. Otherwise, I do think we have reason to be disappointed if he's not, in the finale episode. He really needs to be, I think, for what they've set up prior. I think he will be. They put so much effort and everything into the season. You see all the different little things they're doing, and I have faith at this point that he'll be there in the finale. He should be there in the finale. Yeah. Next one's from MC King, and he says, Trev, do you think that Jesse and her son may die in the season 5 finale just like they did in blah 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 blah? So I don't want to spoil anything here. No, I don't think Jesse and Ron or Sam are going to die in the finale. I mean, we could see one of them, but I don't think they're all going to die. I don't think Peter's going to kill Jesse or kill Ron, or Sam may be killed off, but I think we just are kind of getting to know the characters too, so I tend to think we're looking at season 6 for all of that. I think they'll probably all be back for season 6. It depends how many deaths we get in the finale, though. We could see maybe one of them be killed off, maybe Sam or Ron or something like that, but I think Jesse's probably safe for now. I think anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Next one is from Manny Pacquiao. I don't think it's the Manny Pacquiao, but it's YouTube username Manny Pacquiao. And he says, Trev, possible video topic, 5 favorite songs that have been used in The Walking Dead. That's good. I may do that actually, but I have to review everything first before I get into that, and of course we have to wait. See, the thing about top 5s and top 10s and a lot of the extra videos I do for The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or any of these series, as they continue to go on, things change. So the top 10 best episodes, it's not the same after a half season or a season. A lot of times you have to add in the new episodes and kind of place where they're at in terms of the grand scheme of things for the best ones, right? So with regards to the best theme songs, or my favorite theme songs so far, Civilian Wyoke is probably still number 1 for me, but I really liked in episode 15 that they used Somewhat Damaged, 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. That just it fit the episode perfect, and it just made the intro so dark, and it really got me thinking, like, like they could really go, more heavy with some of the Walking Dead theme and stuff, and it really suits it well. Like, doesn't it? I think it does, because you have like a zombie apocalypse. You got death and everything is dark and all, and to have like that, like Trent Reznor. If you guys have seen Gone Girl, or you've seen some of David Fincher's stuff, you've seen even The Social Network and stuff like that. Just having that kind of score makes it seem so much more epic. It's just so much better than it would be without it. It just, man, the music really, it's one of those things in the background. Sometimes people don't even notice it, but it really adds to the mood, and it really can change your whole perspective on an episode, and just everything. Can change. It's really, man, it is a big part of it. So I really liked. I'd have to put that in my top 5 for sure. The way they use that in Try, man, awesome. So we'll see with Conquer if they use any other theme music. I hope they will, because I really like it when they do it. I don't like it when they go overkill with it so that every episode has its own one. But when you have like something special happen, I do like it when they use some really cool theme music like that, or Wye Oak, or we've had some other ones as well too. Serpents, the season 4 theme was really, really good, and there's been lots, but some people like is it Oats in the Water? I think that's one from season 4. I think that's Herschel. He's, like, some of the characters have their own theme, which is pretty cool if you think of it, like their own theme music, theme song that you associate with them. But there's lots, man. I'd have to go through and create like a top 5. But it's not a bad idea for a video topic for the summer, maybe. I could do that, because, there'll be lots of things we can talk about in the summertime. So this was one I kind of touched on already. This is from Wicked Aurora. I'll read it for you guys anyway, just so we can comment on it again. He says, hey, just watched the video about Morgan Street and about Norman tells fans to have tissues for the finale, and got me thinking, what if all the shadowing for Morgan is to hype up for a big return in the beginning of the finale and then kill him off by the end, and that would be a tear-jerking thing that happens. Please answer Q&A what you think. So I don't think it would really be sad if Morgan's killed off like that. I think everybody would be pissed off, though, and that's kind of similar to what Michael Gudlitz was saying. If they did that, people would be like, that's it? Like the response would probably be, that's it? All this time, you set up all this, and he just gets smoked. Like he gets killed by, just some random... He's traveled all the way here by himself, and some random group takes him out, just as he's about to get there. I would just be really pissed off if that happened. And I wouldn't be sad. I would just be like, well, that's bullshit. I would be really mad, man. It would kind of... if that happens, I may have to redo my best season ever, because that would just like ruin so much of the setup from the season for a big payoff and just not bring it to us. So I really hope that's not the route they go with it. Otherwise, I'll be having to make that video, and I won't want to do that, because I made it with faith that they would finish the season in the finale on that kind of a high note, not on a bad note like that. So we'll do a couple more. This one's from let's see. Actually, did I write down? Yeah, Stephen Earns. Yeah, I think so. And he says, I just realized I started watching The Walking Dead because of you. And this is like a comment. He said, used to watch all of your great top 10 and versus videos. Boy, they are so great. I especially like the Dragon Ball Z and comic stuff. Your DBGT critic was awesome and so right. I think I'm still a kid. One night I wasn't in the mood for any movie or show, so I checked out YouTube and, as always, your channel, and was watching one of your Walking Dead reviews. To make a long story short, 1 week later I've seen all episodes and all of your reviews. It's been a great week. Damn, I was supposed to learn in that time, but well, I hope you learned something about life and death, and how to cope with I don't know, loss. I don't know. And he says, so thank you, man. Keep up the great work. Stephen, P.S. I do know that you want and need to produce kind of unique videos, and I totally get that. Producing a video that is being watched by 500 people is no fun and makes zero sense. However, I would really like to see you do reviews for Gotham like once or twice a year, and I would love to see some videos about comic story arcs, real impact like Nightfall, Maximum Carnage, the death of whoever. So great, really loaded comment from him, and I wanted to add it in this Q&A because I just thought that was so cool that there are people like, and for every person that sends an actual comment, I figure there's probably about 10 or 20, maybe more people in this case that would feel the same way. Probably a lot more than that. So I think that's cool, man, that I actually helped Walking Dead gain at least one fan, probably a lot more than that. But that's a cool thought to think that, the videos that I do here on YouTube can encourage people to check out the series more, to watch the series more, and and enjoy it, because a lot of people, and I've heard this before too from people like mixed martial arts and different stuff like that I used to do a lot of different videos on, and then once The Walking Dead came on, I started making a lot of videos for it. They're like, hey, what is this Walking Dead thing? I got to check this out, right? Because I did have I'd have probably around maybe 40,000 subscribers from other stuff aside from The Walking Dead. Yeah, about that. So let's say 30,000. So from other things. So if I can help any of them find The Walking Dead, that makes me pretty happy, because I love it. I think it's something that if you like comic books, if you like zombie apocalypse, that genre, then you'll love this series. And if I can help the series in any way, shape, or form to either get more fans or more people check it out, or anything like that, like Stefan here. Yeah, that would just be really, really cool. So thanks for the comment, Stefan. I hope you watch this video, and that's awesome, man. I'm really genuinely happy that the reviews and the things that I do helped you watch the series, check out the series, and I'm sure you don't regret it at this point, especially if you watch them all in a week. Oh, very cool. And just the second part of that, where he kind of talked a bit about like Gotham and other shows like that. Yeah, I mix in too stuff that I just want to do. Like the channel is partially an interest for me too. Like a lot of it's an interest. So because I enjoy doing it so much and enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking with you guys about this stuff. So a lot of the other stuff I do just for fun, like Dragon Ball Z stuff. Sometimes hardly anybody watches it, but I do enjoy making it. If there's any other like reviews for shows like Gotham and stuff like that, I enjoy watching it. So when I review it, I have fun with that, even if nobody watches it. So I still would make some, videos if almost nobody watched it. Like when I first started on the channel, nobody watched almost any of the videos I made. If I could get like 1 million views in 6 months or something, I thought that was awesome. So I mix in stuff I just feel like I want to do and disregard whether or not people like it. But I do also consider what should I spend my time on that people are going to like and going to want to watch too, because that's the other part of the channel too, is that I want to make other people happy by watching the videos and have other people check out things like The Walking Dead and stuff like that, and just make people maybe not make their lives better, but even if I can just a little bit make people a little happier, when they're hanging out watching the videos and we're talking and reviews and stuff like that, that makes me happy, to make other people happy. So that's good. So that's what I aim to do. Sometimes I fail. Sometimes people hate me. They're like, you suck, stuff like that. But if I can make anybody happy out there, then that makes me happy. We'll do one more, and this one is from Sly Cargo Bravado, and he says, "Hey Trev, how about doing a top 10 on what top 10 things that would get you killed in The Walking Dead or in a zombie apocalypse?" So that's a good idea. Top 10 things that would get you killed. So top 10 things you shouldn't do in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'd have to think hard about that one. Like, what are the 10 biggest mistakes that you just do not want to make in a zombie apocalypse? I'd have to think about that one, but it's not a bad. It is pretty good. Anyway, since this was a comment, we'll do one more. James Wilmot, and he says, "What is your take on the political side of character of Deanna Monroe? My experience is that a person does not say they are a politician or a poker player. They show it with their ability to deal with drama. They also often predict problems and have solutions ready that are planned out enough so that people can't argue. I have seen none of these traits from Deanna up to this point." Yeah, this is a great comment from him. So yeah, the way I interpreted it is Deanna is not a strong leader. She's not. In a zombie apocalypse, it's not really the same thing as being just a political leader and trying to make everybody happy with you. In a zombie apocalypse or in this type of situation, you should be a really strong leader. People, you don't have to make everybody terrified of you like somebody like, well, the governor didn't always do that, but somebody like maybe Gareth or somebody like that people would never cross because they're absolutely terrified. That's not necessarily the best way to go. But it might work. But you don't want people to feel like they can just do whatever they want, or like you're weak, or like you're a weak leader, or that they can just do anything. And she's so passive that I feel like Rick doesn't really care much. Like she'll if she kicks him out or whatever, he'll pull out the gun or he'll shoot him or do whatever. He kind of feels like even if she tries to kick him out, it doesn't matter. He could come back and kill them all or whatever. He just sees her as such a pacifist type of leader, so passive and not necessarily. Well, I shouldn't say assertive, but she's so passive that he just does what he wants, and he just figures, well, I'm going to take over then, and that's it. It's kind of like the governor when he gets the second group, and it didn't really have strong leadership either. He does take it over, and then he steers it towards the prison, right? It's kind of similar to that. Like somebody like the governor, if he came into Alexandria, he could do maybe the exact same thing there, because you have maybe an even weaker group of leadership there that just isn't prepared to deal with a zombie apocalypse. Is playing loud music at night, heavy metal of anything, ringing the dinner bell, and just all kinds of these stupid things they do. So he basically doesn't respect her much at all, and I think that's part of why he acts out in the way he does in the last episode. So anyway, I think that's good for today. Of course, we'll do one tomorrow before the premiere of The Walking Dead. Probably midday, I'll probably post another Q&A for you guys. Send me your final questions that you have, and really excited for tomorrow night. Cannot wait, man. Of course, lots of videos for next week once we actually see the big finale. It should be great. I hope it's not a letdown. I'm sure it won't be, and I hope Morgan survives it. Because if he's killed off, man, I'm going to be really mad. I'll let you guys know. I'll tell you the truth. Some people think in my reviews I don't tell the truth or something, because I'm usually positive, and I don't know why that is. It's absolutely not true at all. I always tell the truth in my reviews. If I don't like something, I'll tell you guys. If I thought something was good, I'll tell you. If I thought something was bad, I'll tell you. That's it. And if they kill Morgan off, I will be pissed. So let me know what you guys think and how you'll feel if they do kill Morgan off. Let's talk about it. And of course, really excited for tomorrow night. Cannot wait. Just so excited. Anyway, if you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it, please favorite it. And that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow. As always, it's Trev. Saying peace.